From your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
Okay, welcome back to Big Country Politics. We are in the old courthouse. I guess it's just the courthouse now,
1915, in 1915 Taylor County Courthouse.
Because there's some changes going on in Taylor County as far as the buildings and where you guys are. You were located across the street.
Yes, sir.
That is, across the street is the courthouse building there.
Yes, sir.
Where it houses the felony courts and other courts like that.
Yep.
So, having said that, we're talking about another building that's just behind me here, the old jail.
Right.
Built in
1931.
Wow, it's an old building.
It is a very old building.
It has sat empty for 30 years.
Yeah, ever since about 1990 or so, when they got the new jail out on South 27th Street built. It became vacant at that time, and it has sat vacant ever since.
By the way, we're talking to Judge Downing Bolls, Taylor County Judge. Forgot to mention that. But it's interesting the way you guys brought this building to the attention of the public. Right. Explain that.
Sure, Victor. That building is, like I say, has been sitting out there vacant for years and years and years, probably 35 years or so. And over time, it has just continued to have wear and tear on it. We see windows open, and we know it's open to the elements. Every time you'd walk by it, you'd say, what are we going to do about this old jail? What are we going to do? And the idea was always floated around that it's going to cost more to tear it down than it will ever, than we can expend. The taxpayers would be furious with us if we went out and spent $1 million to tear out a whole building down. So nothing's ever really happened with it. In the last year or so, there's been a lot of talk about economic development and growth in the downtown area, and so we know that, and we're trying to be good neighbors with folks in Minnesota and everything else like that. So that really sort of brought about the discussion about what are we going to do with that. We started talking to some people and just talking, and there seemed to be equal concern about, I don't know what's going to happen to it. A lot of folks think we ought to tear it down. Some people think we ought to try to save it for historic value. And so that really kind of put us in the position, but we knew we had to do something. We couldn't push this off any longer. So talking to our administrative assistant, I just said, look, let's get this process started by asking for a demolition permit. By doing that, that will initiate the conversation, and this will get people who want to save it, give them the opportunity to come in and talk to us. This will get people who want to tear it down. This will also give them the same opportunity. So we made an application to the Landmarks Commission of the City of Abilene, because they can put historic overlay zoning on it, and they have identified that old jail as a historic piece of property, in our significantly historic property in our community, and so they can still put overlay zoning on it, which would protect the outside appearance of the building. People couldn't come in and pull the front of it off or something else like that. So that's really what started the discussion. We wanted folks to know that, look, we're ready to move forward with this thing and get started on this, because we do understand that right now it is just wasting away, and we didn't really know how bad it was wasting away until we had some folks get in and start looking around. There's holes in the roof. There's water getting in every time there's a big thunderstorm or storm come up. I mean, that water is raining into that building, and there was standing water in the basement for a while, about a foot or so of water standing in the basement. A lot of rust damage in that building. The concrete is starting to soften up down there.
There's grass growing in there.
Yeah, we have it's really kind of caught in a time warp, unfortunately. It served its purpose way back when it was built in the 30s and up through the 90s, and then now it's just kind of in a position that people are saying, well, let's tear it down. You got other people saying, no, let's don't. And that building, bless its heart, something needs to happen to it. Either get fixed up and become part of the landscape, or tear it down.
Well, so this was the plan. I mean, by asking for that permit to demolish it, it got people's attention.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Both who want to see it torn down and those who want to save it, including the Landmarks Commission.
Yes, sir. There was 2 members of the Landmarks Commission specifically, but I think there probably was more than that were didn't necessarily verbalize it at the meeting, but they let us know, before you do that, we would like you to get some input from some people and see if there's any ideas for what any way it might be salvaged. We had no problem with that, and we said that's the sort of the purpose of why we did it this way, was this lets everybody know, look, that we're serious about this, and we're going to move forward with this. We've already gone out and put bid specifications out to do the demolition demolition work. So I mean, we're planning on moving forward with this thing as quickly as we possibly can once we get through this and can report back to the Landmarks Commission that this is what we turned up at our public hearing.
This is, and one thing that the Landmarks Commission can do is put a historic overlay on it, which would make the demolition process
It would slow
a little longer.
It would slow it down. It sure would. It sure
Which
would.
is not necessarily a bad thing
Yeah.
if you're calling attention to this building.
Absolutely. One of the commissioners, Commissioner Williams, does think that we really ought to do a better job of finding out if there's any interest in it. If anybody's interested in saving that building, he wants to hear from them. But when you come in, have some ideas for us. Just don't say, I think we ought to save the building, because if you don't have anything to do with it, I mean, we can't leave it like it is. So we're going to have some idea about what you want to do with it. If they put historic overlay zoning on it, it will probably mean whoever owns it will have to tear that brick structure around the outside of it that really damaged the historic value of that building. They'll have to take it back to the way it looked back in 1931, and they will, that's just the outside. They can do whatever they want on the inside, but the outside will have to look like it was back in 1931.
That's if it stays, and we're a long way from that, and putting out that building permit, asking for that demolition permit is to get that process started. Now, when we come back here in just a few minutes, I want to talk about what you guys want to do if you do tear it down. So we'll talk about that with Judge Downing Bolls as soon as we get back.